There is a sixth dimension beyond that which is known to man. A multiverse as vast as eternity, as timeless as the Infinity Gems. It is the middle ground between the big two and the indie publishers, between sci-fi and mysticism, and it lies between the pages of the reader's imagination. At the summit of entertainment, the dimension of comics, where a humble service is held. We call this service the Gospel of Comics.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gospel of Comics. I am your host, the Church of Failure, and with me, as always, is my trusty co-host, Ayrton McCartney. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm super tired, but
super tired. You had to work today, right? You normally don't work on Sundays.
That, and it's the first of the month, so I had to close out all the books from last month today.
The first of the month.
And I had to be up at like 5:36 to go play at the church I play at.
Oh, okay.
Beforehand.
So you just had a full day, and then I'm just like, yeah, read these 5 comics before you come on the show tonight. They're on that Comixology subscription I pay for that nobody ever uses.
Yeah, I always forget about it. I really should start using it more. Read some of that stuff that we've talked about that I wanted to read and don't feel like trying to hunt down.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a good way to, because, Matt Christie and I were talking about it before, and I think that, and this is just a brief aside, but, Comixology and services like that are perfect for when, you want to read something and you want to try it out, but you don't know that you want to actually go out and spend the $20 or $30 that it's going to take to get it in your collection.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not a big fan of digital comics as far as the collector's mentality of it or anything like that. But,
right.
I really do appreciate the idea that I can read something, and if I don't like it, well, I'm out $6 to read a million other things.
Right. I mean, let's see. On Amazon, yeah, Chew Volume 1 is $8.47.
Right.
So I think there's 12 volumes now.
Yeah, there are 12 volumes, so at an average, that's $120 to get that entire collection in trade. God knows how much it would cost to track down all the single issues.
Right. And how much time it would take to hunt down all the single issues.
Oh, Jesus Christ, right? I mean, you're talking about I literally, when I go into a different state or even a different town, if I can find a comic book shop with a back issue bin, I usually try and get by there and thumb through it.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well.
Yeah, you never know when you're going to find that one issue from Age of Apocalypse that nobody has. I found all mine because somebody actually brought a collection in that had duplicates of all that crap in it. So I was lucky in that regard. But my ROM Space Knight, I think I found over the course of 4 states and 1 or 2 online places. So, yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of the fun of it, though.
True. I mean, it definitely will add a new level of interesting to travels and exploring when I'm going new places.
Yeah, I mean, you're going out of town for a week, going to visit somebody or an old friend, or you're going to a different state or something like that. Find a comic book shop, dig through the back issue bin.
Yeah, when I lived in Chicago, there was a really cool one right downtown in the South Loop. I don't know if it's still there. I would assume they probably are.
It depends.
They've probably downsized quite a bit at this point, but
yeah, they might not sell comics anymore, like my local shop. It's a touchy subject there. Thanks for poking that wound.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
Yeah, well, I forgot.
Yeah, we only did the show less than 24 hours ago,
Yeah, well.
You've done a lot since then. I'll give you a break. But anyway, thanks everybody for stopping in on the chat. Danielle, Matt Christie, Novel Bro. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everyone's doing well. Had a good holiday weekend. I'm not looking forward to going back to work on Monday.
Me either.
You went back to work today. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know, but
I just had a 4-day weekend. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself tomorrow. I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Why am I out of bed?
have you even been sober at all?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've actually surprisingly been sober the majority of the holiday.
Oh,
I usually only
all
drink
right.
on the show now.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's a weekday and I've been at work.
Or if your family's out of town and we sit there and get drunk on a call and just bullshit about random stuff.
That is a good that is a good question. Is the audio better or all right for everyone?
Oh yeah.
Matt Christie, our generous patron in the Discord and the side chat here, has boosted our Discord server that we use to do the show call.
And we were both so confused and freaking out when it happened. We
I was
had
like,
no
"What
idea
is
what was
this?"
going on.
But I do notice that the bars aren't dropping down to red every 2 minutes, so that's got to be a good
And
thing.
I noticed I didn't have to boost you on my end like I normally have to.
Oh,
So.
All right. So hopefully that works out for everyone. We'll judge the worth of the boost, and I'll probably contribute to it myself now that I know it's a thing. But anyway, in the season of Thanksgiving, which is past, and what I like to call Foodmas, which is the entire month of November and September, where you're just eating more than should be humanly possible. I figured we should take another look at Chew. I mean, we enjoyed the first volume when we reviewed it, right? I mean, everybody seemed to enjoy the absurdity that was Chew Volume 1.
And now we have more words for eating-related superpowers that I can't pronounce.
Oh, I have notes on that. I did take notes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So, I guess, unless you have anything else to add, let's go ahead and get into it.
The only thing, actually, before you texted me saying this is what we were going to do, I was about to text you, since it's December 1st, to do the Hazel and Cha-Cha Save Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Umbrella Academy went off, but then you said that. I was like, all right, we'll just do Chew.
We'll do more Christmas stuff as it gets closer to Christmas. I mean, I know that it's December and it's Christmas for most people now, but let's not get.
Well, I hadn't heard from you yet, and it popped into my head because I played a bunch of Christmas songs this morning, so it popped into my head like, oh, if we don't think of anything, there's at least something. It's a one-off. It's not that long, but
it's like what 60 pages or something.
Yeah, if that if you take out the ads, it's probably less.
48 or so.
Yeah.
Well,
but we'll definitely have to add that to the list.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, you control the list. I mean, you made it, so just put it on there.
That's See,
I
forget things.
You're the co-host, not the subordinate. You just put shit on the list, and we'll do it. Like I don't know. Like you don't have to.
I forget. I have to find the list.
I mean, it's my channel, and I can just kick you out of the Discord because it's mine too. But I mean, if I haven't done it yet, I don't think I'm going to. Oh man, maybe if I drink some rum on stream, I'll fire you. I don't know. Like for real, I don't know. Maybe if I drink some Kraken, I'll challenge you to a fight in real life and fire you for not showing up. I don't co-host with pussies.
It might be the last minute, but I always show up.
Well, real quick, I guess before we get into the review, there were a couple of interesting things that have happened in the last couple of days that I wanted to talk about just briefly. They're not comics related, but I'm sure you guys
auto-correcting Cha-Cha, goddammit.
I'm sure you guys have seen and heard about it. The Gamergate files came out. The FBI released that on Black Friday. I don't know what kind of implication they were going for there.
Wait, hold on. I missed this.
What? Oh, yeah. Oh yeah.
I haven't been on Twitter in the past several days very much.
Oh no, I tweeted about it. It was I said we needed to get Donald Trump to tweet about Gamergate now, guys. Oh man, let's see, where's it at? Gamergate. Yeah, FBI Records Vault Twitter account. Gamergate. Black Friday at 11 a.m. on the dot. I'll copy it into the Discord so you guys can investigate it on your own time. Basically, it's just a bunch of people bitching about Gamergate. That's what the FBI files kept track on. Like, it just read like a therapist transcript.
All right, then.
Yeah, so that's something interesting to go through. Ever since I hit that result, 20 more tweets have happened. So there you go. People are definitely talking about it. Gamergate is never going to die.
Gamers rise up.
Also tonight, apparently, Susan Wojcicki, that bitch that didn't pay Medicare for a month, she was on 60 Minutes, and they were talking about how the platform is quote unquote free speech, and they brought up Nick Fuentes and Naked Ape on the segment, and Crowder. And I'm just what is this fucking timeline? What is going on right now?
Okay, what about, Alex Jones?
No, he's gone. He's banned.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It's about free speech. What about Alex Jones?
Oh, no. It's her own brand of free speech. You got to watch the clip. It's in Ethan Ralph's. It's in Ethan Ralph's timeline. You got to check it out.
Oh, okay. So the how do I phrase this properly?
Well, how's it going, Spidey? See you in the chat over there, buddy.
So the shackled version of free speech?
We're not going to go there just yet. I haven't had enough to drink. Besides, we have to dance around the F word later tonight. So, well,
since when do we censor the word fuck?
No, the other F word.
Oh, figs.
Yes, we have to dance around figs. We have to do the fig dance this evening. But I say we just go ahead and get into it.
Do I have to put on the outfit?
Wait, you're not wearing the outfit? Get the fuck out of here!
Not the fig dancing one.
Oh man! All right. Well, also, Erica, you'll appreciate the fact that the measurement clicks comes up in this comic as well. So,
and it's in quotes.
Yeah. Several clicks
Which
later.
I don't know why, but that made me laugh so hard, and I have no idea why.
Oh man. SJW Spidey, that sounds like a perfect evening to me, buddy. What the hell are you even doing here? Like, I love the views and the interaction, but get to that plan first.
Yeah.
Get to that plan first. If you can watch us in the meantime, that's fine. But if not,
I mean, you could have us on in the background, to set the mood.
Right? Yeah, we're perfect. We're perfect mood setting music.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, let's jump into this. I've got some notes here. I don't have any papers to rattle around, but I do have some production notes. You got something? Perfect. Yeah, those are my notes. Ayrton has some. We have a script for the show too. Apparently, I don't.
Yeah. What is this word? Your handwriting got a little sloppy on this one.
It's called "You're Fired." That's where I'm gonna fire you.
Okay.
So, well, that's the second best way to be, is getting paid to watch us. So, anyway, jumping into this review,
I can dig it.
We're looking at Chew Volume 2, International Flavor. It's written by John Layman and art by Rob Guillory. Really, it's the same style across the board for everything I've read. I don't know if the creative team changes near the end, so that'll be interesting to look at for me. But we jump into this And
You know, I just now figured out how to quickly scroll through the pages on Comixology. Anyways, continue.
oh yeah, that little drop down bar.
Yeah.
So we open up in chapter 1, and obviously you see this crazy looking octopus pinecone thing on the cover here. And you open up with the prologue. So in the prologue, we find out about this ridiculous fruit thing that we have no idea what it is, and we'll come to understand what it is later on. But before that, we do have some exposition to get through.
Sorry, I just want to say the prologues I think are my favorite parts.
They are pretty fantastic because you have no fucking
Of these
clue
books,
what's
I don't
going
know
on until
why.
you have no fucking clue what's going on in the prologue until the end of the issue.
Yeah, they're just seemingly so fucking random.
Well,
It's great.
Anyway, we open up chapter 1 after the prologue, and our good friend Agent Colby from Volume 1, the one that took a meat cleaver to the face, is now working for the FDA. He's putting on, we find out later in the issue that he's putting on a show that he hates Tony Chu, so that the boss will pair them up together as partners, and then they have this big laugh about it, which I think is pretty fantastic. But we also,
I mean, it's kind of like our conversations off air.
Right? Oh yeah, absolutely. Like our conversations on air. Nobody fucking cares. But
trying to stay in character here.
Anyway, this is where the fig.
I am a thespian.
This is whatever became of Stars' Chew show. I have no idea. I have on good authority that it probably was a rights thing that just got out of hand, because that's usually what it is with these indie comics. On Image, people are really, really wary to give up any kind of creative control of their property, as they should be.
I would. Yeah, but this would be fantastic as a TV show, just to see how they would do.
Yeah, if they pulled it off correctly. But
yeah, like if they use the visual effects guys from the Sherlock TV show, where he does like his mind thing and you see all the stuff moving around quickly. If kind of like they did his power, kind of like that visually could be cool.
Yeah,
but
well, once they get out of the office, they have a short back and forth about how Colby, the cyborg agent, assumes that Appleby, their boss, is mainly, how do you say, a homosexual, and
a fig.
He just he's repressed, so to speak, and that'll come up. That'll be important later on in this volume.
My favorite. Hold on, my favorite exchange though. Chu says, "This again? You think everybody is a fig?" And then he goes, "Everybody is a fig, Tony, except for you, and that's because you're an asshole
and you can't
and you're not able to multitask."
But yeah. Now I'd have to look into the Stars show. I just, like I said, a lot of these TV shows get licensed and their checks cut, and nothing ever comes from it. I was actually surprised Umbrella Academy got off the ground.
I still want an ARBBH movie.
Well, they've been trying to do Lock and Key for years, and that shit's been stuck in development hell.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do? But anyway, the first case these two are assigned is basically an attempt, literally, to get Tony Chu to eat shit, because the boss hates him that much for some reason. The two think better.
I love that running gag. How every side character goes like, "Your boss must hate you."
Yeah, but they decide better of it, and they figure they'll solve the case the old-fashioned way with detective work and FDA resources. So there's been a bank robbery. Money was cleared out, jewels were cleared out, and the only thing that was left behind is literally a pile of shit. So without eating the shit, Tony decides that they have to figure out how they're going to solve this case. And They take a couple of detours before they get on the case. One of the first, which I think is fantastic, is they go and they confront D-Bear from Volume 1, who is essentially the reason Agent Colby lost half his face and has to be a cyborg monster now. Then they blackmail him out of his FDA payoff money that he's getting for being an informant on his competition. So there's a lot to unpack there. But essentially, we find out that D-Bear has been working for the FDA and, illegally selling chicken.
Uh,
And
Now, did you think of the SNL sketch? Duh, bears, stop bears, stop bears, stop bears.
every time.
Every time you read
Every time.
Okay, just making sure.
But, Colby blackmails him out of his FDA money and, for good measure, rounds it up by another $200 to take it from $2,800 to $3,000, which I think is fine.
As you should.
The two stop to have a drink. Colby, obviously still with a sense of humor, says he'll take a bottle of Makers and a quart of Pennzoil to wash it down with. And, obviously they don't have the Pennzoil, but Showtime series was killed, which is going to be an animated feature, which is now dead. Latest news 2017, where there's movement for a live action show. I don't think they're going to be able to make this a live action show very easily. It really is just entire. Then again, I said the same thing about iZombie, and that show was okay. It wasn't the best, but it was okay. Anyway, while they're at the bar, they do some digging and find out that some of the employees at the bank have some family and friends who were recently out of prison for holding off a strong arm, armored car. And that's essentially how they crack the case. Now, the thing closes though with Chew discovering a plant, or actually discovering an ingredient in a gumbo that they were making that it supposedly tastes like chicken, but it isn't chicken.
Yeah, this is where it got really weird.
And, he tastes it and he's like, it's a plant. I think it's a fruit. So, they make the bus and this ends chapter 1. It's not very invigorating as a chapter. It's actually the shortest chapter, which I took notes for. But it fills you in on a lot of backstory. It explains, Tony's a Cebapath. Anything he tastes, he can kind of get a read on. His partner has some cool new cybernetic implants. His boss is an asshole and couldn't even get him a flesh tone matching ear. But, it's a lot of catching up, and it introduces us to this fruit that we'll later find out is called the gallsberry.
How do you say that?
Gallsberry.
Oh, okay.
What'd you say?
I don't know. I just kind of acknowledged that it started with a G and had a berry at the end.
Yeah. Well, chapter 2 is really where the book starts to pick up, I think. In the prologue of this one, you've got what appears to be a drug dealer on the corner. And you find out that what he's selling is eggs. Farm fresh, grade A, hard boiled. He's got it. You need it, he's got it. And this is apparently what John Layman assumes that a poultry ban in the United States would lead to. So, obviously, this kid.
It's
Go ahead.
Weirdly enough, it's a nice little piece of world building because you don't think about like eggs, right?
Yeah.
When you read like through the first volume, you're like, oh, okay, you can't eat chicken or whatever, and then they throw that little tidbit in. You're like, you guys are actually taking the time to do world building in
absolutely.
this ridiculous story.
Absolutely, and it comes to a bigger part later on when you see what another character is attempting to do with frogs.
They're turning the freaking frogs into chickens.
That's right. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. So
I need to add that. I need to add that to the. I made a playlist on my YouTube account of the sound bites we've been using.
thank you for that.
That's the one I forgot. Anyways,
Chapter 2 basically opens up with an egg dealer, and he gets scared off his corner by Agent Colby before Colby receives a call from agents in the Arctic who found a frozen Ruski from Volume 1. Now, you can't barely see it, and it's not implied, but there are 2 puncture marks on this victim's neck. I didn't think about it the first time I read through this, but going back through it and knowing how it ends, I mean, I saw him dead as daylight this time. So this is, supposedly a victim of a vampire. And we can only assume that that's what's freaked Agent Colby out when they said they found it. But anyway, Agent Chu has taken some personal time, and apparently he's there to track down something. He doesn't even know what, really, I don't think. But, whether it's...
poultry ban. I will go to war for Sunny Side Up.
You and me both, brother.
Novel, bro.
You and me both, brother. Runny yolks make...
Same here.
Runny yolks make the world go round.
Yeah, we'll all wear kilts, have giant ass swords, and just charge the FDA headquarters.
Basically.
Yeah.
But we switch over to Tony Chu and his brother Chow Chu. Yes, that is his brother's name, Chow Chu, for anyone who missed the first volume. Probably the most stereotypically racist Asian name I've ever heard. What? That's too
I was
low.
trying to find...
Too low.
Why is it so hard to find just a clip of him saying that? It's all like really long ones.
No, there's an Alex Jones soundboard that you can get.
I think I just found it.
Okay.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Thank you. That's fantastic.
You're welcome.
So we switch over to Tony and his brother Chow. They're on the way to a resort island called Yamapalu. And
Seriously, what's with the weird ass names?
Well, it's supposed to be a play on Hawaii, I think.
Really? Are you sure that's what it's supposed to be?
Well, they are getting laid as soon as they get off the plane.
True. Getting all the laid. Oh,
so
yeah.
We find out that Chow has taken a new job as a resort chef, and they're opening a 5-star restaurant in his honor. He's going to cook all of his famous dishes. After his meltdown in American television, he's relocated to this island to be a 5-star resort chef at this island, which he's completely fine with because, as far as he knows, this island has excruciatingly lax chicken laws, unlike the U.S. We go through this. We find out that Chu's there on an investigation, but it's not a sanctioned investigation. He's just following up on some leads on his own. But then we realize that he's being tailed by a rat with a cybernetic eye named Jellybean.
Which, second to Poyo, is probably my favorite character in this volume.
Right. The rat does surveillance and recon work for a USDA agent named Lindsay Wu. A very stacked Asian lady, I suppose, who is proficient in like 8 different kinds of martial arts and hand-to-hand combat, sword, throwing stars, gun, rifles, pistols, all of it. She just a Mary Sue badass from the get-go.
She can kill you 7 ways to Sunday.
Yeah.
And then an 8th way just for good measure.
Right. But, I made a note here. This book is weird. But
I mean, you're not wrong.
These,
probably understatement of the year.
yeah. Well, these two have a friendly meeting, so to speak. But before that, I think I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Before Chu and the USDA agent have their meeting, Chow is introduced to his kitchen, and this is a beautiful, fantastic, full spread 5-star kitchen. And he's looking for his ingredients, and he realizes that there's no chicken, and he finds one of these weird fucking octopus fruits. And that's kind of where it cuts away and cuts back into Chow. And when Tony cuts back to Tony.
See, at first I thought they were pineapple or they were avocados, but that's because I've never actually had an avocado.
What? Wait. What are you saying? You've never had an avocado whole, or you've never had avocado on anything, or?
I mean, I think I tried like guacamole once. I didn't really like it.
Okay, yeah, we can't work together. I'm sorry. This is just too egregious a fault. You don't understand. Avocado is the best thing ever.
How dare you?
Anyway, we cut back over to Tony, and he's getting into an elevator, and he encounters this agent who gets on with him. And I think he obviously knows something's up, or he's just checking her out because she's fucking stacked and wearing like the skimpiest dress you can imagine. But she like elbows an old lady in the face and then pins his neck to the wall with her high heel. And Tony's contemplating biting her. And
haven't we all run into an old lady at some point that we wanted to elbow in the face?
Probably. But it looked like she was carrying like an IV bag around with her. I mean, I guess it's a net, but still. Yeah. Like, the first time I saw this, I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
I mean, there's that old lady who's like 103 at the grocery store buying like 3 items that cost $37 and is still writing a check.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's 1925. Like, God damn it. Will you just keel over right now? It would take less time.
That's spoken like a man who's never played Beat It to the Bank before. Okay. Your privilege is showing, Ayrton.
I mean, it's possible.
But anyway, they get into a slight altercation. She makes mention that if Tony bites her, she'll basically just shoot him 12 times before he can take his first swing with his newly achieved karate skills. So
did they mention that?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Did they mention that was something he could do in the previous volume?
Well, I don't know that they mention it, but I think they do display it. Like he takes a bite out of somebody and learns something or something. It's weird, but I think they just kind of make reference to it so that it explains why he doesn't bite her.
All right, fair enough.
Avocado has quite a bad reputation over here. Apparently, hipsters have avocado everything. We barely allow guacamole at the cultural level, but even I have it with every serving of nachos I ever ate. Yes, that is correct. That is the proper way to live your life.
It has a weird consistency. It tastes, or like it.
You
it's
have
like
a weird
like
consistency. You show up every weekend, yet you don't get any better.
I'm just not ripe yet.
I kid. But anyway, they eventually come to an understanding and agree to meet in the Cabana Bar at like 4 o'clock or some shit. Well, my iPad keeps turning the screen off because it's getting ready to die. No, my notes.
Uh-oh.
While preparing to meet, she's attacked and outclassed, being thrown out of a window before they can, rendezvous by what seemingly is a vampire. And then the last shot of the book is that vampire poising to take a bite out of the rat. Which it's a sad thought, but
Yeah, and then eventually we'll read more about this vampire, and that's one of those words I can't pronounce. So I hope your iPad doesn't die with your notes in it.
I don't think they actually mention the vampire. Like, I don't think they give us.
That's at
They don't tell us what
at the
his
end of the
name
volume.
is. No, they don't tell us
No,
what his
but
powers are or whatever.
I swear they did.
I don't think
I
so.
guess.
They just say
guess.
he's not a vampire. He has fear or whatever. No, the name that we get is the one where with the deaf chef.
Oh, I guess. Yeah, you're right.
I know I am.
I don't know. There were a lot of characters and lots of words.
That's why I take notes, sir.
This.
Should try it sometime. Helps.
Wait, you act like we're supposed to be professionals or something.
I mean,
People give us money to do this.
after 100 episodes and people giving us money to do this, I think we should maybe take it a little seriously. Sue me. But anyway, this brings us to chapter 3 of the story, and as you can see from the cover of chapter 3, this story does involve a chicken in a luchador mask. I'm just going to leave that up on screen and let everyone soak that in for a minute. So let's just recap real quick. So far, we've had an egg dealer. We've had a fruit that tastes like chicken when it's cooked. We've had a homosexual tirade from a cyborg RoboCop partner. We've had a surveillance rat. And
Named Jellybean.
yes, and
Don't forget that.
a super proficient in martial arts USDA agent. So if you aren't prepared for absurd, Chew may not be right for you. However, if you like any of these themes, they only get weirder the longer the story goes. And it's really well done, I think, in the sense that it's compelling. The story is driven. Like, it's not. There are no.
Yeah.
Like, even the
it's
slowest
fantastic.
issue in this volume, the first issue, it was more, just kind of catch everybody up that missed the first 6 issues.
Yeah, and it's so weird, like just the concept. It's hard not to be drawn into it.
Right, and the world building, like you said earlier. We got a new member to the Discord. Not sure who's inviting people to the Discord. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
Was it maybe Captain Weeb over on his?
I don't know.
Discord?
Maybe. I don't know. But
the names of the people we know from doing this show.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now, chapter 3, we open up with a prologue where Tony Chu is being arrested for the death of the USDA agent because people obviously saw them scuffling in the elevator before she was killed. And he's just shoved into a cell. No real reason why he's shoved into a cell, not why he's shoved into a cell. No real explanation as to, why they're not checking his FDA status and all that good shit beforehand. But we find out that this is Raymond. Let's see, I got his name right here. Raymond Kulolo. And he's the chief of police on the island. He locks him up and says he's got to verify his badge and shoves him in a cell with two hulking monsters of criminals. And then, inadvertently,
So, novel bro, I hope the ranks are the only thing swelling during the show.
We also switch over and we see Amelia Mintz, the food writer, who just...
Yeah, it took me a second to remember who that was.
Yeah, she was the one who was fired for giving everyone... oh, that's fine, buddy. I don't mind. But she's a food writer who can describe food in a way that makes everyone experience it. So she's been sequestered to this island to sample dishes. Basically, I believe all of these dishes are made with that fruit. Is the whole thing. Like, he's this little guy who we'll figure out who it is later on in the issue.
And this is why I need to take notes. So I forgot to bring up tentacles again.
Oh, on the fruit?
Yes.
Yeah, you're welcome. I know it's your favorite.
I was done with tentacles.
No, this is comics. You're never done with tentacles.
You know how, like, clubbing baby seals is a thing?
Yeah.
I'm going to just start going on, like, a clubbing baby squid rampage. I don't know how I'm going to do it in Michigan, but I'm going to figure it out.
There are zoos, I'm sure. Nothing? You're not going to take my great idea and my advice? Well, fuck you, then.
You must have cut out just as you said them.
I said there are zoos.
There's a zoo. Well, there's a half zoo.
There's more than one zoo in Detroit area.
No, there's
not. Or not Detroit, in Michigan, I'm sure. There's more than one zoo.
No, there's not.
Really? God, Michigan is a shithole. Pretty sure there's more than 2 zoos in one of the towns in the state.
Yeah, no, there's one zoo, and it's kind of a zoo. Like, you pay money to get in, and there's animals, but there's like 7, and 4 of them are peacocks that just around the...
You just roboted a little bit. I think your connection's kind of shoddy. We got full bars over the Discord.
Of course it is.
But do it, club baby squids at the zoo. But anyway, we find out that this little guy is, he's serving her meals. Supposedly, she's looking for, she's looking to also try some of Chow Chu's food as well. So it's very strange. She's set up in this cottage on this island. She left the States basically after getting the fruit from this little guy when he visited her in Volume 1. So this is the first time we've seen her since she got on that plane. And that's the second prologue. But,
I was so confused.
There are 3 prologues.
Is this
in this volume? There are 3 prologues.
Is this the where she runs away all confused, or no?
No, that's the next issue.
Okay.
So we find out that Chow has also decided to leave his kitchen and is refusing to even try the squid fruit. And it's quick, and you have to pay a lot of attention to catch it, but the little guy's face is on the $10 bill, and you find out that he is Governor... let's see, I've got his name here. Governor Name Haupai? 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 Whatever?
Yeah. No idea.
So, that's those are the 3 prologues, and then we finally get back over to Tony. Uh, apparently, the two criminals that they lock Tony up with, they get into a spat because Tony's FDA, and well, they apparently hate FDA. Oh, before that, we get a little brief introduction on what the Gaius Sapodillo, the Gallsberry. Oh, what's going on, Captain Weep? Good to see you, buddy. But the Gallus Sapodillo, sometimes referred to as the Gallusberry, is a fruit unique to the island of Yamapolo. The meat of the fruit tastes remarkably like chicken. In fact, after it's cooked, it tastes exactly like chicken. 8 months ago, nobody on Yamapulo had heard of or seen the Gallus sapodillo, much less tasted it. Now it grows wild on the mountain plains. And the farming of the Galsberry has almost overtaken tourism as the main industry of the small island. This has obviously upset the chicken farmers of the island, much like the chicken farmers in the U.S. were upset when things went south in Volume 1. And then we cut over to Tony Chu's head in a toilet. The chief of police comes in and uses a taser to, disarm one of the guys.
It's a fucking cattle prod.
Yeah.
It's not even a taser.
Oh, we're talking about Chew Volume 2. We covered Volume 1 a few months ago, and in the spirit of Thanksgiving, we've been meaning to cover this one. We've just been running around like chickens with our heads cut off. And, oh my god, the Eagles lost to the Dolphins? What the fuck? Sorry, little sports ball there. But, Eagles are just losing their ass this year. I'm glad we got our ring when we did. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Chew goes ape shit on these assholes and just starts beating the ever-living fuck out of them. And
which I kind of love.
Apparently what's happened is he's bitten one of them when they had him held, and he found out that they murdered this kid who was just like a minor criminal or whatever. Well, after explaining this to the chief of police, they go off, they try to find the kid's body just to prove that Chew's not full of shit. They find his body, and, the Chew bites the kid and finds out that it's all over a prized fighting chicken named Pollo. Well, they do a little bit of recon and they go after the chicken. Oh, let me get that up on screen and catch up. I've been slacking. Let me get the beating on screen. It's pretty good. Florida
well, and here's where we get the clicks thing for.
Yeah.
Is it Erica?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll point that out when I pull it up here. But they go and find the kid, and yeah, here we go. Here's the page. Several clicks north. But they barge into the small hut, and it's being guarded by two people, and they pull guns, and they're like, hand over the chicken and nobody gets hurt, right? Well, eventually 3 other guys with machetes come in and surround them, and the chief of police just goes like balls to the wall, right? He's like, you see that ear? You see how it's a different color? They're listening to everything. They got GPS. The choppers will be here any minute. And nobody believes him.
Chad move right there.
Yeah, and nobody believes him, and he's like, you don't believe me? Go ahead and kill this guy. Find out. So they're given the chicken, and I gotta bring the chicken up here. There we go. Yeah, chicken and the luchador
there
mask.
Is one thing So there is one thing I want to point out. So we were making fun of Rob Liefeld last night about how he can't draw proportions if his life was dependent on it.
Right.
The proportions are fucky in this, but it's done well, and it makes sense because this book is just utter nonsense.
Well, how do you figure? What do you mean?
Well, like, if you look at the thugs compared to Chew and the chief of police,
Yeah.
you know, like, the one guy's arm is this, the same width as Chew.
Yeah. But the thing is
You know,
it's the same size in another panel. That's the reason we were making fun of his proportions before, because in one panel Steve Rogers was one head taller than the other guy, and in another panel he was like 8 feet taller than him.
I mean, even then, like, whether it's inconsistent or not, some of even just not inconsistent, sizing of characters is a little outrageous with that. And this is at least done well overall.
Well, what I was getting at though is this isn't the kind of book that asks you to suspend your disbelief about anything.
Right.
Like, this book expects that you're going to be like, what the fuck did I just read?
No, it's a book that says, like, what did I just eat?
Yeah.
I ordered mushrooms on that pizza, but I didn't think they were that kind of mushrooms.
Oh, we stream whenever you want to, buddy. I don't think it'll be a problem. But yeah, we stream just to refill everybody on the schedule. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. Those are our days right now. We drop Friday off because I all weekend. Yeah, all weekend is a lie. But no, man, just stream whenever you want to, buddy. It doesn't matter. Not gonna get off.
We might hijack you. We might stream snipe you.
Yeah, there we go. Well, see if we can turn what Weeb is streaming about into a comic book. That'll be a show. But
there we go. There's a challenge for topic.
You're roboting like a motherfucker. You gotta fix that.
Fuck.
Yeah, you gotta fix it. You're killing me, son.
Son of a bitch.
You've had so many.
All right, keep going. I'm gonna.
Had so many good shows.
I'm gonna
lately. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm gonna reset Discord and pop back in. Just keep going. I'll catch up.
All right. Well. Anyway, I'm gonna go off on Poyo for just a minute here. It's just absolutely and utterly ridiculous. But you see all the newspaper clippings on the back. This is like a prized fighting chicken. This is a chicken that's supposedly undefeated. He's defeated characters like Samson, and they talk about Poyo behind the mask, so the mask is part of his lore.
All right, how's that? That any better?
Yeah, you're good for now. We'll give it away. So.
All right. Well, I just got a message for somebody to what the problem was.
Don't trust China. China is asshole.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So apparently that was the problem.
China number 4, Taiwan number 1. Anyway, they get Poyo back to the chief of police's headquarters or whatever, and the chief is just like, yeah, step into the morgue, you can examine the agent's body or whatever. And during that time, he just kind of dips out on the on Chew, and he finds out that this cat's been looking for this chicken forever, and he's on his way to Mexico or Texas or something to make a lot of money off of it. And he had been planning.
Wouldn't you be looking for this large cock as well?
Absolutely. I mean, if I didn't already have one, absolutely. The big undefeated cock. That's correct. What even is this show anymore? I'm glad we have to click that this isn't for kids anymore. I'm really glad.
It's so freeing.
It is.
Isn't it?
It is. I was worried when we first started out. I was like, man, I got to be careful. I don't want little kids stumbling on this show because it's about comic books and then being warped for life. So let's just try and keep it PG. And then they put Kappa through, and I'm like, freedom! Fuck, 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 fuck. I'm going to say all the fuck words.
I should send you a song that we should end with.
Oh,
in celebration of those regulations.
I'm gonna have to. Maybe tomorrow night. I'm gonna have to screen this song. I don't know that I trust you.
Which is fair. You probably should screen it. You never just blindly play.
Yeah,
anything
no.
I send you.
No, I know. But after the chief makes this big show about how we're a small, quiet island and murders aren't supposed to happen here, he absconds with the fucking chicken, and his assistant tells Chew, like, look, he knew that putting you in the cell with those guys would lead him to Poyo. Like, I'm so glad you helped him. And Chew's like, I did what? So, we find all this out. And then, go ahead.
I also love how Chew is simultaneously, like, the most, like, useful asset to the FDA, but is also kind of bad at his job.
Oh, yeah. Like, he's not even getting paid for this work. He's working off the clock. He's not even good at being, like, bad. Now, he's also left a Galzaberry for Chew to investigate, eat, I don't know. But Chew takes a bite out of it, and I got to pull this page up because it's one of those.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's one of those. He tries it, and he gets just a splash of the Milky Way galaxy when he's like figuring out what it is or whatever. Which leads me to think that
It's like
some
the
kind
god food.
Yeah, it's like Alien in origin, I think.
Yeah.
That's what, because obviously with its origin not even being around 8 months ago and now being everywhere and multiplying. Now here's a question: do you think the tentacles on it are a nod to the Watchmen and the Squid Monster?
I hope so. That's the only acceptable reason to ever use tentacles.
Anymore? Yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, and that's where we leave off on chapter 3. So obviously things are picking up, and chapter 4 and 5 are a fucking blur with the amount of shit that happens and how it happens. So finish rolling my sleeve up.
Can you tell me? So the mayor guy, whatever his weird ass name is.
Yeah, Nomi Halpy.
Who am I thinking that he reminds me of?
Oh, I don't fucking know. Little brown
he looks
man.
Like his face specifically. There's
D.D. Gonzalez. I don't fucking know.
No. I don't know. It's like an old. I don't know if it's actor.
Oh, is it Sammy Davis Jr.? Is it Sammy Davis Jr. from the Rat Pack?
Maybe that might be. I want to say no because that seems racist for some. But that could be who I'm thinking of.
Look him up. Look up a picture of him.
Yeah. No. I know. I swear there's. Who's so in the Corpse Bride, the worm in the bride's head? Who's that character modeled after?
Hey, you're breaking up again, but I don't know.
Of course.
Cycle your headset. That might be it, or your connection or something.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe disconnect your iPad from the Wi-Fi and connect it back. Or you can't do that, can you? You're not on Wi-Fi.
I mean, I can turn off my wireless signal
and turn it back on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if it happens again, try that. You seem fine now. But no, I don't know who the worm was modeled after. That's beyond my scope of giving a shit.
Anyway, if somebody knows in the chat what I'm talking about, please let me know.
Yeah, cycle the connection. You just roboted when you started asking your question.
All right, I'll be back.
I'm gonna drop out and drop back in. We'll be right back, folks. All right, I'm back. It doesn't take me long. As long as everybody can still hear us, as long as we still sound okay. I don't even know. Are you guys even getting the roboting, or is that just me and my fucking lot in life? I'm just waiting for a response and for Ayrton to come back on, trying not to let too much dead air seep in. So we'll go ahead and swap over to chapter 4, where we have a very polarizing cover. Like you got the vampire guy about to take a bite out of a native of the island. Ayrton's or everybody's audio is bad. Weep. Let me know. And then you've got Tony taking a bite out of an arm, a dead arm. Uh, yeah, let me know. I'll wait on the. Doesn't take long for it to fit a more reference in like Lube Man. Oh, nice. Nice. I like it. Now,
All right. Hopefully that worked.
okay, maybe. We got a Lube Man reference in the chat while you were gone. So
Oh, I missed the Lube Man reference.
yeah, it doesn't take long for us to fit a more reference in like Lube Man. Just slide it in there. Okay. All right. Cool. So it was just you that sounded bad. I sound immaculate as usual.
Of course.
Anyway, chapter 4 opens up with another prologue of Amelia being interrupted with some more food, and this time it doesn't go so well. She sits down to what she says is spectacular food, and then immediately, like, she takes a bite, she tastes it, and she immediately just freaks the fuck out. She draws a knife, tries to run away. Obviously, she gets captured again and brought back to the cabin. I believe they mentioned something about taking her to a compound. And the governor just says that, this complicates things. I'm thinking that's Sammy Davis Jr. you're thinking of now that I'm looking at him, by the way.
It might be.
Yeah. It just, I don't know. It's a really short Sammy Davis Jr., but I don't know. 1010 crystal clear as a diamond from Gospel of Comics. That's right, Weeb. Thank you. we all know that I'm the professional here as I pour my second scotch. But then again, we've all seen Mad Men. Who trusts a professional that doesn't drink on the job, right?
Exactly. Why wouldn't you?
But she freaks the fuck out, runs away, gets captured. And then we see a little montage of Tony's boss just trying to set him up with the worst jobs that come into the FDA. Dead body in the sewer. I know just the guy. Dirty diaper and a kidnapped baby. I've got just the man. A dead body found in a dump.
Except,
go ahead.
I was so confused why the FDA would be investigating a missing baby.
Well, the FDA, I believe, is a corollary for the FBI in this universe because of the flu, of the bird flu, and all that shit. Like, they have become the elevated alphabet service.
All right.
So anytime you see FDA, just assume FBI, except everything in this world revolves around food. So, he's got this long laundry list, and he finally blows up, and he's like, where the hell is Tony Chu? Because Chu's been MIA for a while now. And then you see the cold Russian woman who was frozen solid. I like that they left her hat on her. That's nice. But, when, where are my notes?
Uh-oh. Find the notes.
Anyway, it comes out that the Russian girl has vampire bites, and there are also vampire bites on some of the bodies in Yamapalo where Chu is investigating. Now, Agent Colby is trying to cover for Chu, and Chu takes a bite out of the dead guy to figure out what's gone wrong.
And Peter Lorre.
Who?
Peter Lorre.
I had to
He
look
was
this up. Spell the last name.
Lorre.
Lore. That's Lore.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, those big ass eyes. Yeah. Yeah, I totally see that.
Yeah.
Like Eeyore, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
I see that. I've only seen him when he's old. So I didn't catch the reference. I still think he looks a little bit like Sammy Davis Jr., but that's just me.
I can see that, but that's the guy I was thinking of.
Okay. Let me give me 1 second here. Let me get SceneRx a role in the Discord. Give him a member role there. Matt, you put some money into the server. We're just gonna throw you one of those old admin titles there. Don't.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you're
And
still.
promotions.
Yeah, you're roboting still, but I'm gonna deal with it.
Damn it.
I'm just gonna deal with it. I think it's just your lot in life right now.
Yeah, it's my fucking connection. It's
what?
It's being all fucked tonight.
Oh, okay. Man, almost like I need to take the Patreon money and just get you internet. And now, thanks to the generosity of our patrons, Ayrton has the actual World Wide Web. He can download things faster than 2 megabits per hour.
Let's see.
But Chew takes a
No,
bite.
I was suspicious that we had a storm about to roll through, but apparently not.
Chew takes a bite out of the guy and finds out about this vampire type person that's still fucking around. And Novel Bro, he's not actually on internet. He's on like a wireless cell signal. That's what the problem is. Somebody might be fucking around with the towers.
And I live down in like not necessarily not a valley, really, but like I live at the bottom of like would you call it I don't. You have to drive downhill either way to get to my house, no matter what part of the street you turn onto.
Oh, we just call that bumfuck nowhere where I'm from.
Yeah, that's fair.
But anyway, Tony has to bite these guys multiple times just to kind of get an idea of what's going on. He's biting a little bit of everybody just to kind of get an idea of what this killer is planning to do. And he comes to the understanding that the vampire is planning on raiding a compound on the island for some reason. He's going to storm the compound and there's going to be a bloodbath is all he really knows. And he's like, you got to get the boss off my back. And Colby's like, I don't really know how to do that. And he's like, just do it, John. It's important. And he pulls out a picture of Amelia. So this is where you really start to see the love triangle come together. And Chew wants to go in gun blazing, but the chief of police assistant just calms him down. And he's like, look, you can't just go in there gun blazing or you'll get killed. And she sets him up with the plan of taking the...
Which is a good... To chop down some trees. I'll get right on that.
Right. Well, use the axe arrows in your quiver. Aren't you Green Arrow?
I mean, I do have arrows that can pierce Kevlar, but not ones that can pierce trees.
So, he means in Minecraft, folks. He definitely does not have any kind of weapons that would deter law enforcement's ability to detain him.
No, not at all. Never.
But
I love Israel and the Jews.
As do I. But he stops a truck that's delivering these Galsa berries to the compound and takes the guy's uniform, drives into the compound, infiltrates, and everything seems to be going pretty fucking smooth. And then we're introduced to a new type of ability. The governor's going through checking shit while Chew.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let you pronounce this one.
Yeah. So we're introduced to Fadineros, which is a European chef who is a sabolocateur, meaning he can tell a story and communicate through his cooking. He's been entirely mute his entire life, but he can tell a story with every dish he creates, and that's how he that's how he communicates. So
I really want to know what the writer was on when he came up with these ideas.
I mean, I think it's just pure oxygen because while these are far fetched ideas, they're all based around the same thematics. What if food was a superpower? You know, what if superpowers were based on your sense of taste and smell and all that shit? And then it just kind of evolves from there. I mean, while it's brilliant, I'm not saying that I could ever come up with anything this creative. Um, I don't think it's a stretch once you have the initial idea to expand on it.
That's fair, but I'm picturing him eating like 4 Little Caesars hot and readies with magic mushrooms on him while he's writing this.
I, for one, welcome our Semitic overlords. Are they gone yet?
I'm surprised you read that.
I mean, I support Israel
Not
and the
for
Jews.
children.
I support Israel's and the Jews. But anyway, he's made a dish that the governor taste tests and finds out that the vampire is on his way and is killing people already, more than likely. Now,
gotta watch out for those pesky vampires.
Yeah, so all hell starts breaking loose, and Tony just busts in and attempts to rescue Chow, and Chow's like, "I'm not going any fucking where. I love it here now. Like they originally had me held captive, but this is great. I love this." And Tony just clocks him. Like Tony just decks the shit out of him and drags him out. And then
he loves it. He loves it there almost as much as we love Israel.
And then he goes back for Amelia, and they get to a safe place. And Tony's like, head south for about half a mile. And they're like, south toward the fire? And he looks by and he sees fire. And then you see him in a crosshair. Now, this is the triple cliffhanger that I made notes of. But, you know, I'm going to see that murderer brought to justice. And then there's a fire, and that's a cliffhanger. And then you see Tony head in a crosshair, and that's a cliffhanger. But the final page of the book has has Tony's boss and his partner implicated into to doing the nasty, and the partner's just sound asleep. Just like a baby, and his boss is just sitting there, like, completely not okay with everything that's just happened to him. So,
along with the 3 cliffhangers
yeah,
in one page,
right.
Probably the best ending that you could possibly have to this book.
Well, I mean, now we at least know how Agent Colby kept the boss off of Tony's back for this long, right?
Yeah. I mean, what else are you going to do?
I mean, sometimes you just got to lay pipe to your male boss.
Advice everybody can take heart.
I disavow myself on that one. Actually, should never attempt to lay pipe to your male boss. But
bad idea.
How dare you?
Well, you got to get the other one queued up because we're going into issue 5.
Oh, it's cute. It's queued up.
Okay. All right. Well, issue 5, you open up with this Colonel Sanders looking motherfucker who's talking to no one. You find out about how great it is that frogs can replace chickens with a little genetic modification. And it looks like he's recording an advertisement, but one of his assistants comes in and is like, "Hey, boss, who are you talking to?" He's like, "Don't you knock." So he's just sitting there practicing his sales pitch, and nobody like there listening to it. But his whole idea is to genetically alter the frogs in order to make them taste more like chicken. Because poult.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
I don't either, Alex. Thank you for stopping in with that beautiful tidbit. Alex Jones, everybody, a proud supporter of the Gospel of Comics.
And banned.
It's okay. BitChute has streaming now.
Perfect.
But he's going on about having his science. Like, you find out that he's had 2 of his scientists poached by the governor of the island months ago, and then you flash forward to current day, where there are like dozens of frogs in his office, and he's calling in his guys to come in and completely and utterly burn the entire forest, destroy all of these fruits, and they've even gone so far as to recruit the local chicken farmers to assist them. So this issue just starts off with a fucking bang. So this explains why there are fires to the south where Tony came up from, and it doesn't explain yet why Tony had the crosshair over his head, but apparently the guys that want Pollo are also involved. So all hell's basically broken loose at this point. There's a vampire on the loose. The locals are fucking going crazy.
You would burn down a rainforest for Pollo, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. Pollo is life.
Okay.
Have a good one, Captain Weep. Thanks for stopping in, buddy.
See you, Captain.
But while all of this stuff going on, now you also find out that the Chew's ex-partner, Mason Savoy, is the one that ordered a hit on Chew, which fails. And, there's a vampire in amongst all this chaos.
Because, what else would there be? Now, can you pronounce that word that the vampire says that translates to yummy?
Let's see. Visconjata? Visconjatina?
I think it's just a bunch of nonsense, but, good job.
I mean, it looks kind of Russian.
Time to pull up Google Translate.
Yeah. I mean, with the meticulousness of this, I would be surprised if that's not actually the close translation for the Russian word for yummy.
That's fair. Let's see. I'm on it.
Well, the vampire ends up. Here's the scene where Chew is in the crosshairs and just narrowly avoids being killed. Also, I was going to make a dig because they point out how unique this fruit is to this island, and I'm like, not as unique as my co-host Ayrton. Unique, extreme, and unique.
That's right. Yeah, there's.
Is it just nonsense?
Yeah, it seems to be nonsense.
Oh, that's sad.
It really is.
It is. It made me lose a little bit of respect, but not much. I still love this book.
I mean, yeah, and it's still funny and vaguely Eastern European.
Yeah. So, Chew goes back in to save Fatinieros, and the government is basically shit out of luck. Everybody's abandoned him or died. The governor, is basically shit out of luck. Everybody's abandoned him or died. So he he goes to free Fatiniero, and upon doing so, he finds the vampire has already showed up to rescue him, so we think. And then Tony busts in with a pistol and a squirt gun filled with holy water.
I mean, I have one of those on my nightstand.
Squirt gun filled with holy water?
Yeah.
Well, before he can, engage the vampire, the governor cracks him in the back of the head with a lamp. Now, this is one of the only things that I don't understand why it happened, except for the final mentions. But the governor hits Tony in the back of the head with a lamp, allowing the vampire and the chef to escape. And when they escape, he asked, why did you do that? And the governor's just like, I might be dead, but I'm not going to be undead. And then blows his own brains out. And this is probably one of the sadder parts of this particular volume. Because when he's splattered in the governor's blood, and some of it gets in his mouth, he sees that the governor's goal was kind of noble. He was like, I'm going to make the world a better place with this fruit. Now that chicken's outlawed, I'm going to, figure out a way to raise awareness and spread this around. And he, while unorthodox, his methods were, like, he had a noble goal. And that one panel makes him a little bit of a sympathetic character.
It's still weird, but
Well, everything in this fucking book is weird. So, it is what it is. But the governor is now dead. A lot of characters die in this. Like, I didn't realize this my first roll through, but a lot of people just straight up die in this. And now we switch over to a plane in which our vampire. Well, first off, Tony gets his brother and Amelia to safety, obviously. And we switch over to a plane with the vampire and a partially, like, why would you wear the fuzzy hat if you're just going to be wearing a bikini?
I mean, that's how I want to travel by plane from now on.
All right, I'll get you a bikini and a fuzzy hat, but that's all you can wear.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And you say I never get you anything nice.
That's. No, I take that back.
So the chef assumes that he's been rescued to enter the employ of the vampire, or he's fixing him a meal to say thank you. And the vampire is like, "Oh, my dear Fatinieros, you believe that I was sent to rescue you? Aw, that's so cute. No, I'm going to absorb you." And this is kind of where we get the nature of what our vampire is. He's not actually a vampire. He's kind of like Tony in the sense that he's a Cebopath, I'm assuming, but he can absorb just as much through blood and flesh, and he absorbs other Cebo powers. So we end up with go ahead.
Is that what he does? Because I took it as he's technically a vampire, but like can use his abilities to absorb like just general energy, maybe not necessarily similar powers.
No. Look, reread that page. I'll go through it real quick. There is no such thing as vampires, but the fear they inspire is real, and the power derived from harnessing that fear is undeniable. He has discovered long ago that he can learn the same lessons from blood as he can from flesh, and so he would present himself as a vampire in order to learn more, for the more he learns, the more powerful he becomes. Occasionally, in his journeys, extraordinary individuals will cross his path to learn their extraordinary skills. More than blood is required. and some recipes absolutely positively call for meat.
Oh, okay.
So, and you see how the paneling is where he's eating the soup. It's filling in the
Yeah.
squares with the original introduction of Pataneros. So he's absorbing the ability to cook a dish and tell a story with it, or communicate through it.
Okay.
Now, the epilogue of this volume, and this again,
It is fantastic.
oh, it is. So Chew picks up the phone to make a personal call, and his boss catches him. And you think that he's about to get his ass reamed out, but no. Apparently, since his partner started giving him the shaft, the boss has lightened up on Chew and says, he makes a date with Amelia, and Amelia goes to water her balcony or her window garden, and you see this inconspicuous little plant right in the middle. That's not so inconspicuous. So she has saved at least one of the Gallowberries. And
now I want to know.
That's where this volume ends.
See, and what a great ending, because now I want to know where she got that from.
She was on the fucking island. She probably just pocketed it on her way out.
Yeah, but like I want to see I'm sure there's going to be some sort of flashback.
Well, no, I mean, think about it. Seeds keep, right? Like you can crack open an apple and the seeds will keep forever until you plant them.
Yeah, but I still want to see how she managed to grab one while they were burning it down when they were fleeing the compound and stuff like that.
Oh no, you're thinking too small.
I actually want to.
Anybody in that position would have literally just put one away as soon as they tasted this thing. Oh, I want to grow this when I go back home.
I mean, that's fair. But I think they would make how she got it more ridiculous than just that.
They may. Because I don't ever remember that fruit thing coming. Another terrible food pun. I don't remember that fruit storyline ever coming to bear.
The food pun.
The terrible puns that this allows. Now, so that's volume 2 of Chew. There are 10 more volumes at least, and there are a couple of volumes that are not Chew, but they're Poyo or one-shots or other things. So there's a little bit of this left. If you guys are interested in seeing more of this, let us know.
I'm gonna keep reading this.
Well, don't get too far ahead. You're gonna have to reread some shit if you get too far
ahead. Yeah, that's fair. Unless I make notes.
True. If you make notes and save them.
See?
I mean, it's not like you don't. It's not like you call into a show on a fucking iPad or anything. So, what did you take away from all this? How did you feel about this volume when you were reading it? I mean, obviously it was a lot of fun. Do you think it was better or worse than the first volume? Do you think it improved on the story?
It definitely improved on it. Like I said earlier into going through this, the world building was better than it should be for how ridiculous this premise is, right?
I don't disagree with that at all.
A $1 billion Star Wars movie doesn't have this good of world building anymore.
You're not wrong there.
Yeah, this crazy asshole goes in and puts little details like a guy selling eggs, like he's selling fake Rolexes out of his trench coat.
Right. Right. And you don't think about shit like that, but again, the fact that they put it in there just as a prologue, and you have Colby sitting, because Colby doesn't give a fuck. Colby will eat any chicken he discovers, but he's a cop, right, and he's busting motherfuckers for illegally selling chicken and eggs, right?
Exactly.
Now, one thing,
the world building was phenomenal. It might even be weirder and more outrageous than the first volume.
Oh, I don't doubt that whatsoever.
Just with the added concepts they put in there, right?
Right. Now, one second. Does anybody know if on Brave there's a way to shut down those little pop-up advertisements that come up? That's what that little noise is every time I have to fucking get rid of one. I'll have to look into that after the show. It's starting to bother me because it happens like 3 or 4 times a fucking show. But one.
That ding noise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, one thing that I do have a little bit of an issue with this story, and it's not a big one. It's not enough to keep me from continuing to read it by any means. Hell, I've already read like 5 to 10 volumes of it. I just can't remember. For a lot of comics here. I mean, I remember the general premise of it. I didn't commit every storyline in detail. But
right.
You can see by the way this is laid out and the way that it's set up that this is a book that's written for the trade. And the fact that it came out in individual issues and wasn't just released in trade paperback volumes, I think is something that the Comicsgate and the indie comic community can take a lesson from and just release those sized volumes.
Yeah.
You don't release a single issue and then try to sell a single issue, a trade, and a collected edition, because that's not fair to a collector fan base. Because somebody like me is going to want all of those things, even though I don't need them. But because I love the work that much, I'm going to want to buy it. Like I've got a hardcover and a softcover Watchmen. I've got 52 in single issue and trade form. Shit like that. But if you're going to put out a product that you're proud of the first time around. Put out a product the way it's intended to be read, and don't fuck around with costing yourself as an indie creator money and costing your customers more money than they should spend.
Right.
For as many times as Cyberfrog has been offered, it's the same book. The only people that bought it twice were the people that wanted to buy it twice. If you got any cover of Cyberfrog, you got Cyberfrog, the full story.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, someone like me who missed the initial campaign, I was able to go and get it on the second one.
Right.
So.
Well, are you talking about Cyberfrog?
Yeah.
That's the 4th campaign, buddy.
Oh, what? You know what I'm saying, though.
My campaign was the 3rd one that I bought into. But again, I like that Ethan's doing that because it leaves the book open. Because think about it, how many people do you think didn't buy it and saw a review of it and were like, "Oh God, I really want that"?
Right.
I like the fact that he's keeping it available by offering it in different formats as far as the cover goes. I think that's a true use of the variant cover. The people that bought into it on the first go-round deserve to have that first go-round variant. Now, it is a little weird that the second variant is actually more rare and will probably end up being more expensive. But the people that bought it the first and second time around deserve to have their unique products.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good, buddy.
And
Daniel, you're working on your cigar wall. Ayrton, you wanna explain to me what the fuck a cigar wall is? Is that some hoity-toity white collar shit?
No, he's taking lids from cigar boxes and using them essentially as like wallpaper on his wall and like drilling them in.
I did that with disassembled comic books once. Like I had a box of coverless comics, and I took the staples out of them and used the paper and overlapped it and made like this color collage out of comic books when I was living as a single man. Now that I have a wife and children, I don't think I'm allowed to do that anymore.
It looks pretty cool.
I got to see that. I used to do beer cap art back when I was, again, single and went to bars a lot. I went to like 4 different bars and they all saved their caps for me. And I'd get like milk jugs full of
Nice.
beer caps all the time. Then I'd do like furniture and shit.
Nice.
But no, I think we should definitely at least look at volume 3. Like we should keep going with this until the people get tired of it. I think. But
Oh, I would agree. Or we get tired of it. Whatever comes first.
well, you know, if the people are paying for it and they want it, we give it to them.
True.
Speaking of the people paying for it, the first of the month, well, second now technically, not yet actually, is it? Nope,
No,
not yet,
20 minutes.
not yet. On the East Coast, which is the center of the universe, I'd like to give a special thanks to our patrons: Matt Mechanical, SJW Spidey, Arcanus, Captain Weeb, Daniel and Danielle G, not related, I don't think, and Captain Shithead. Hey, she wanted it.
I know, but I love it.
And I'd also like to remind all of our patrons that it is now time to go ahead and get your monthly issue request in. And I think Einbrecht Arcanus is actually up to the tier where he gets to pick a trade volume and make us review it.
Oh shit!
So go ahead and get those selections in. If you have anything in particular, you can tag me in the Discord. You can DM me on Discord, Twitter, or Patreon, however you want to get the message across. But be sure to get those in as quickly as you can so we can get those issues together or make some other plans. And we will get those going. We kind of have our video format set up. So we will be able to do videos. We'll just do a private stream where we record them, and then we'll upload them to the channel for everybody who missed it and for the patrons themselves. So thanks again, everyone, for supporting us and everything. I just wanted to go ahead and do that shout out. And
Yeah, you guys rock.
You do indeed. So. On all of that, and also for people who are not patrons or want to support the show, the link for the Patreon is down in the links down below on the channel on the what do you say, on the description. Is that the word?
Yeah, I believe that's the word.
That's down there if you'd like to support the channel and make us review something horrible or great, however you want to look at it. There are tiers to do all of that. To check that out, share the video, like, subscribe, all that nonsense. Go ahead and get all the shilling out of the way. We still got a few minutes, but let's go ahead and get all that shit out of the way.
Yeah, go do all that YouTube stuff.
I've got my pants off. I'm bent over in front of you guys. Just do what you like with me. Just pay me for it on the way out.
There's a tip jar next to the door.
That reminds me of a joke. I'm gonna have to tell it after the stream, though. But anyway, no, I really enjoyed you, and I'm glad you enjoyed it too. I thought you would, based on the ridiculous shit you do like. So
yeah, the more outrageous and basically doesn't make any sense, the more I like it.
Yeah. So what should we look at for tomorrow? We got about 15 minutes. Chat, sound off. If there's anything else you guys want us to look at, I'm throwing it out there. Ayrton, you got suggestions? Anybody? If nobody sounds off, I've got an idea that we will start. Oh yeah, Monday and Wednesday.
I'm scared.
Monday and Wednesday, we could do some World War II shit. Do some
I can dig it.
Do some Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos. Do some Sergeant Rock. some early Captain America where he's punching Hitler.
I can dig that.
Play some cards, KARDS. You know, roll through with Germany some more, build up that collection a little bit. You know, well, we can do some stuff over that with World War II. But if anybody has anything else, oh, Dan wants Killing Joke. I've been trying to get the Killing Joker on the show, but I think I'm going to call that a lost cause at this point. And Dan, do you want? Is Dan trustworthy enough to come on and review the Killing Joke with us?
Ooh, I don't know.
You think?
That might be a stretch.
You think so? Dan, Ayrton has no power over you here. Do you want to come on and do the Killing Joke with us? I might even let you fire your boss.
See, that would just be going too far.
I don't think so. I think everybody needs the opportunity to fire their boss once in their life.
I thought you were going to say everybody needs the opportunity just to fire me in general.
Well, I mean,
What
that
I thought
too.
you were going with that.
That too. I think I'm going to make that a Patreon tier for $2. You don't have to come on, Dan. I was giving you the opportunity.
I feel like I should be insulted by that.
Do you think I should charge
Only
$3?
$2. Only $2 a fee?
I mean, do you think I should charge $3?
I mean, at least $3.50.
We already have a $5 tier. All right, how about this? When we get the super chats or Streamlabs or Stream Elements or whatever set up, we'll do $2. No, we'll do $3.50 donations to come on and fire Ayrton.
Yeah, it's gotta be $3.50.
Yeah. We'll do $3 donations. You can come on and fire Ayrton when we have donations set up, which I hope to do by the first of the year. That's my New Year's resolution, is to get a bank account that PayPal actually recognizes as a bank account.
Besides, your mattress.
Oh, shut the fuck up! Now I have to move. No, we can do Killing Joke. I'm not opposed to that. I've been wanting to do it since we started the show.
Yeah, that was like one of the first ones we talked about.
Dan, all of our streams are drunk streams, buddy. Literally, all you have to do is read the book and come on and talk to us about it. Like, are you worried about what 7 to 12 people might think of you? One of which you interact with almost every day. But no, if you can come on if you want to. You don't have to. I'm not going to force you. I'm not going to pressure you. But no, we'll do Killing Joke. We'll call that your review for the month. If you want to, you just let me know, buddy. You just let me know right now. You let me know right here in the YouTube chat and get first dibs this month. And then we can.
Oh shit!
Yeah, then we can segment it out and put it up on a video.
Should I just add it to the list preemptively?
Yeah, go ahead and put it on there.
All right.
And then Wednesday will give me enough time to get Matt Christie some Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos comics.
Hell yeah!
Look, Novel Bro. The Pill Stream was the best thing that ever happened to the Kill Stream. I mean, let's just be fair. Let's be fair. Everybody thought Ralph was fucking down and out. I mean, I didn't, but that's because I was on the Heal Stream and I knew that he had been more fucked up than he was on the Pill Stream. The difference between the Heal Stream and the Pill Stream was guessed.
You're not wrong.
The only reason I know that is because I drank just as much as Ralph did on the Heal Stream, and I know how fucked up that was. I probably drank more than Ralph did because he only had like half a bottle of Maker's Mark left. His monthly request is Dan. Check your Discord, buddy. I'll send you a link to our Comixology where you can review it. We have review copies of these books for our guest.
Yeah.
Oh,
We got the setup.
Ayrton.
Uh-oh.
Based on our viewer base, do you think we should do a Patreon only stream where we go through and listen to the heel stream and commentate on it?
Like color commentating?
Yeah. No, we could do like fucking what is it? Mystery Science Theater on that shit.
That could be fun. Yeah, one night when we have absolutely nothing planned and we're both too exhausted to actually read anything.
Oh no, we'll actually have to plan this out because that was a 6-hour stream.
Oh yeah, that's right, it was.
I have it downloaded.
God damn.
Novel bro, I drank a 1.75 liter bottle of Kentucky Gentleman that night.
Oh, I'll give you the rundown.
No, jump in the general here in a minute. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up the show. It's about 10 minutes to 12, but it's Sunday. I think we can let everybody off the hook.
I'm fucking exhausted.
Dan, go ahead and jump in the general. I'll give you a rundown of the heel stream and what it was. Wait till we get to the part about the Holocaustor.
Oh, it was glorious.
It was. It was.
But we do support Israel and the Jews.
We do, and we believe in the Holocauster. It really happened. But yeah, jump in the waiting room or the general. We'll wrap this show up. But thanks to everybody for coming out. Thanks for supporting the show, everyone. We will be back tomorrow night, same gospel time, same gospel channel. One day Ayrton will finish with his goddamn theme song, probably in like 6 years or whatever. You know, I just need some sick guitar riffs. If he doesn't do it soon, I'm just going to commission Hayes and Cruz to do it with some Patreon money. You know, chart topping Hayes and Cruz with the Fatmas carols that you should definitely check out because that shit goes live in a day and a half. So,
oh, does it?
Yeah.
You don't need a headset, Dan. You can just hop in.
He's at work.
With that one.
He's at work. DM me, Dan. I'll explain it. I don't think you want to just have me spouting off about the Holocauster in the middle of his job. No, Novel Bro. I think it's what I would say that might bother anybody around him, not what Dan would say. You guys don't understand. The heel stream was a goddamn beautiful thing, but it's not to be spoken about in public. But anyway, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, everybody have a fan-fucking-tastic evening. Thanks again for stopping by.
Don't trust China. China is asshole.
Oh, well, China's an asshole. You know.
Yeah, that was our man on the street.
Oh, okay. Hong Kong #1, China #4. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for stopping by. We will see you tomorrow, and everybody have a great evening.
Good night, everybody.